This past weekend, I had 2 successful cold approaches at the mall, all within about 10 minutes. And in this video, I'm breaking down exactly how they went, what I said, how I closed, and how it converted to engaging messages to set up a date. All of these things matter. Cold approaching itself is great, but if you're not converting to contact info, to follow back, to engage in conversation, then what's the point? So in this video, let's break down both approaches, talk through them, and say exactly what went well. So the first approach, I noticed this girl in a baggy, kind of like sweats and hoodie with some big headphones on. And she was kind of stopped at the mall. So I went up to her, I put my hand up like this to have her take off her headphones. You don't just want to start talking to a girl if she can't hear you, because then you have to repeat yourself. And if you repeat yourself, you look like a bitch. So I put my hand up. She quickly took off the headphones. She made eye contact with me directly. And I asked her if she was from my hometown. Now I did this to build familiarity. I did this because I wanted a logical and really easy to understand reason as to why I'm going up to a stranger. And she mentioned, no, she's from the area that we both live in, but she actually wants to move to New York. She doesn't really like this area. Now, immediately, I was organic in my opinion, and I also was opinionated and pushed back because if you don't like the city we live in, New York is just gonna be 1,000 times worse. So I teased her immediately. I was like, you wanna live in New York? It smells like piss. Like, it's the worst parts of this area we live in, just times 1,000. Like, what do you like about New York? I didn't go talk about how I have family there. I didn't talk about myself. I didn't rant about me. I gave her a little bit of shit, and I asked her another question. And she said, oh yeah, you're kind of right. I mean, I like the holidays and stuff there and blah, blah, blah. And then I asked if she was in school here. Again, guys, we're asking them the questions without having it be interview mode. We're simply probing on the answers they give us and going a little bit deeper. And it has to be relevant, right? I'm not going to go to like, what's your favorite food? That doesn't make any fucking sense. If we're talking about locations and where someone lives, the things they do or the school they go to in the area is relevant. So we had that discussion. And then I guess if she was Middle Eastern, and she was like, oh my God, how'd you know? I'm like, yeah, you have darker features, like your eyes, you know, you have light eyes, we have darker hair, blah, blah, blah. And she wanted me to guess her ethnicity. I guess Lebanese, she was Syrian. And then this girl goes on to tell me she's dirty blonde. She was brunette. Another avenue to tease them with. And you have to understand, guys, when you're teasing women on a cold approach or a date or whatever it is, you need to tease by finding answers they tell you that are dumb. That's how you tease. You make them feel silly. You don't go up to them and be like, your hands look stupid. It's not how you tease. So I teased her and I said, if you're dirty blonde, I'm Chinese. And I said it with my tonality, my body language, and my eye contact in a way that is like, obviously I'm kidding, but you are a retard. And so she laughed. Because women like feeling like that. When you tease a woman in a way that makes them feel inferior to you, they love it. It's a turn on, they laugh, you hit a bunch of different emotional polarities. The last conversation pivot I went to, this entire interaction, guys, was no more than 90 seconds. If you listen to someone talk about cold approaching and they're like, you need 10 minutes to warm them up and make them laugh and do a formative monkey, they don't know what they're talking about. You don't need more than 2 minutes, ever. If it goes over because it's going great, whatever, but you don't need more than a minute or two to get the Instagram, get a follow back, and have them be engaged and intrigued in you. Quality over quantity when it comes to attention. So I went to more logistical, and I like ending with logistical when it comes to getting the Instagram and closing because it's easy to transition with. And I'll tell you what happened here. So we had this ethnicity conversation, then I was like, why are you at the mall? Like, what are you shopping for? And she was like, oh, I have this baby party, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, you have a child. And she said, oh my God, you think that? Again, teasing her, slamming down. She got all offended, blah, blah, blah. It's a good thing. I was like, all right, well, whose child is that? I don't know. You know, whose baby are we celebrating? It's her niece's. She needs a dress for the party. And then I gave another opinionated, organic take that I truly believe. And that is whenever you go to the mall to find something specific, it could be the best mall in the world, you really never find it. I've had this happen a million times. And so I teased her, I'm like, you're never gonna find this dress. I'm like, isn't it funny how there's like 4 miles of mall and you never find what you're looking for? She laughed, she agreed. Again, teasing, opinionated, but relevant. And then I said, well, I'll let you get back to your hunt, even though I don't think you're gonna find it. Give me your Instagram. That's it. I positioned it logistically as, I'll let you get back to what you're doing, give me the Instagram. So I'm actually doing them a favor by letting them go, but at the same time, in return, I have an ask, and it's contact info. Followed back, message back, engaging conversation, boom, 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 boom. 90 seconds in and out. My next approach that went very well was I was with a client and he was talking to this retail worker at an athletics store to get his mouth kind of warmed up. And they were going off. They went off and talked about some clothes or whatever. And I kind of walked back, kind of towards them when I felt like everything was kind of slowly dying off. And I felt like he kind of ran out of things to say. So I came in, I swooped in, and I asked her if she does any print modeling. Now, why did I ask this? It's context based. She was 5'9", thin, looked like a model, and I've worked with models because I've done things in e-commerce. And so it was a commonality point without validating. Right? I wasn't saying it from a perspective of, you're so beautiful, do you model? I was like, no, do you model? You look familiar. Like I do some e-com work, like I have some brands. Do you see how the positioning is so much different than, wow, are you a fashion model? Fuck no. I'm like, you look familiar. Like, do you model? Are you a new book? Cause like I do some things in e-commerce, I have some brands. I feel like I might've seen you. That's the tonality. That's the verbiage. That's the talk track. That can say that statement without her being flattered and all these things. Like, I'm below her. And she's like, oh yeah, I do some print modeling, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh nice. You like e-commerce, what kind of stuff do you do? And then I had this rapport build around that topic. You guys have to understand, on any approach, on any conversation, the topic that you're on is going to stall and die, and you need to be able to pivot well. Filling silences and pivoting with relevant questions equals fluid conversation. Fluid conversation equals desire. That's why Casanovas are smooth talkers, because the combo's so fluid. And so we go back and forth. I'm like, yeah, I've hired, are you signed, blah, 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 just industry rapport build. And then I was like, well, let me get your Instagram. I'm sure I'll see you again sometime or whatever. While I was getting her Instagram from that 40-second conversation, I was like, I asked her if she was Italian because I saw her last name on my phone with Instagram. I'm also Italian. Then we had another 20, 30-second conversation. Oh, you must know how to cook. Your family must be in New York. Commonalities, rapport build, without trying so hard and while asking fluid questions. That's how you can be in and out in 60, 90 seconds and grab Instagrams. The secret is the flow. The secret is how you open, not having it open up from a dynamic or a frame of unequal leverage, right? Having it be equal, being nonchalant, not being performative, and finding and probing and seeing where we can tease when it makes sense and seeing when we need to pivot. Once you know the proper ways to pivot and be smooth in conversation, all your approaches are going to go fantastic. And I can't emphasize this enough. It's how you say things, guys. It's body language. It's a tonality. When I approach, I'm super relaxed. My tone is literally like this. I talk down to them. I'm making eye contact, but it's so unserious, and I'm smiling, and everything about my tonality, my body language, my eye contact is saying, relax. This is not a big deal. This is not, take it easy. Don't feel any pressure. Don't feel any anxiety. I don't want anything from you. I don't need anything from you. Because when you go about it nervous, when you go about it performative, when you go about it high energy, they feel like they're on a spotlight. They get anxiety. And the only thing stopping you from desire from a woman is her negative emotions, like anxiety, discomfort, worry, fear, when you don't use them the right way, of course. Because I talk about that as well. And so master the tonality of the body language. Even if you have to go up to a girl and pretend you're acting a part, pretend you're somebody from a movie to get you in this state of just relaxed. That's how you convert. If you want me to make you a master at dating in women, click the links below. They'll be very, very helpful. And I also mentor guys one-on-one on everything under the sun when it comes to women, female nature, dating, modern dating, online dating, etc. See you in the next video.